Afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year to you and yours. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of January, 2024. This is Flosstube number 9, and obviously the first one of the year. I'm Lindsay, the Cheshire Stitcher, both here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. I'm getting the hang of it. It'd be even better now, you know, starting to post stuff. Today I've got few PhDs. In case you don't know, I don't call my projects whips, I call them PhDs because they're all potential happy dances, because we all do a happy dance when we're finished. I've got a new start, which was yesterday, 1st of January. I've got a finish. I've got the information on how I did in 2023. I can do that at the end if you're not interested. I'm going to show you some of the gifts I got for Christmas, and I bought myself a bit of stash. Well, one item. So, but before I start, my youngest daughter got a cry cut for Christmas and she wanted to have a play. So I got a message when I was going to look after the boys last week if I could bring my board with me that I use to show stuff, because she wanted to have a play, so she did this for me, for my board. Now I did tell her I'm planning on replacing this at some point, so I think at the time she will quite possibly do something else, but she just wanted to have a play. She wanted to learn how to use it, and so this is what she came up with for me. I think it's fantastic. Got me sunflower on it that I love, and in case you're wondering, I love hexagons. Favourite shape. If you could see my wallpaper behind you, it's got hexagons on it. So there we go. Right, so I'm going to show you, I'll start off with my finish. If you may remember, I was trying to finish an elephant for Love Quilts, and I did it. There he is. Let's turn it, there you go. Try and get the glare off. You don't want to see the recording. So there he is. That was my last Love Quilt square and my last finish of 2023. He was lovely to stitch, but I did get fed up of grey. But there's about 4 or 5 different shades of grey in him, but I got there in the end. So that's that. So as well as finishing him last year, I also did a little bit more work on my commission piece. Most of it in her hat here. So a little bit of stitching I've done this morning. I've done a bit more of this fill in here. I've decided I'm going to get this is all going to be restitched this month. I've had enough now. I'm sick of looking at the big gap and putting it off. But it's boring. It's all one colour. 3799. It's not the most inspiring of colours. So, yep, there we go. That is how the commission piece is looking as of today. Hopefully, there will be loads of progress on it for next month. What I'm going to try and do is work on it for 100 stitches every day. So like the day I have the boys on a Monday and alternate Wednesdays, I don't tend to touch this because I'm too tired. But I thought, if I can do 100 stitches, then, you know, I can get it finished. I'd love to have it finished for Easter, but it's probably not going to happen. So, next one. You may remember I was trying to get this Howling Wolf done from Caterpillar Cross Stitch for my oldest daughter's partner for Christmas. Didn't happen. That's as far as I got. So alternative arrangements were made. Hadn't decided if he was having it for Christmas or his birthday, because his birthday's Boxing Day. So either way, I'm ahead for this year, because he will be finished this year. And I should have just realised I should have pulled out the picture to show you what he's going to look like. He's going to look like that. Well, not quite like that. I've changed the fabric to a colour cascade. No, not a colour cascade. Hang on. The back. Oh, disorganised today, I tell you. Kiwi Illusions Cloudburst. There we go. Because it came with Pink Ada and I don't do pink. And I only do Ada for Love quilts. So those, that's it. That's all I worked on in between my last two Flosstubes. Although I did work on my beading PhD, which is, you may remember, is Raphael the Dragon. When I showed him last, I had literally only just started him and had done very, very little. Well, I'll put him on the back because my fancy cheshirestitcher thingy is just going to vanish. So there he is. I'm now halfway. That longest row that you can see that my finger's just on the end of is the middle of him. And I've just started coming on up the other side of him now. My oldest daughter saw him literally halfway before I'd started coming up this side, and was like, ooh, that'd make a good bookmark. So you may see this again towards the end of the year, half done, because it's going to be a bookmark for my daughter for Christmas. But we'll see. So that's that. Sorry, I left my needle attached. I didn't put it on a... I'm just looking. A bit later on today, I am going to start my next Love Quilt Square. So I was just getting the picture up for you. And it's that one. Triceratops from Climbing Goat Designs. She's got a whole range of these. And I'm quite looking forward to them. I think after the elephant, it's going to be A, a lot more colourful. Oh, pardon me. And B, a lot quicker. So that's going to be started a little bit later on. I'm going to work on the commission piece for a while first. So, right, let's do my plans for next year. I bought myself a nice posh diary. I always have a diary. I go for a page a day because then it means that I can record whatever changes I've made, if I've changed fabric, if I've changed threads. So I'll go for a page a day. No, you don't want to see that. That's my plans, honestly. So there you go. So that's yesterday's. To say I started it, and I started it at 12:01. I don't normally record the time, but New Year's Day. So, and so far today, as you can see, I've done a little bit on St. Basil's and my commission piece, which I really should have covered that over. Never mind, a bit late now. So, my plans for next year. Not next year. It is next year today, silly girl. So I am going to do a temperature chart this year. I haven't bought one yet because I'm still undecided as to which one I'm going to do. I'd narrowed it down to 2, but now I've spotted another one that might be a possibility because it's hexagons. So I don't know. I need to make that final decision, get it bought, but it's going to be something that's going to be quick to catch up on. My second aim for this year is to finish more than I start. My whip number, why did I say whip number? PhD number has gone up, and I'm not entirely happy about that. So I want to finish more than I start. Even if it's only by 1, I will be happy with that. I'm going to stitch more from my stash this year. I am not going to go on a I'm not going to buy anything route, because I know that that's not going to happen. I'm going to see something at some point and I'm not going to want to wait. But not only that, I still have the caterpillar box. I still have my fabric from Sparklers every couple of months. So I don't want to restrict myself like that, but I do want to sort of stitch more from my stash, because I've got a big stash. I've got a huge stash. I'm still going to need to buy fabric and stuff like that. So, and my other one is, although I'm going to continue to stitch for love quilts, I don't want to have so many sign-ups at once. It was a struggle for me to finish that elephant in time, and he still wasn't finished in time. He was late being sent in, and I don't like to do that. So I will continue to stitch, but I am not going to have all 5 of the sign-ups that were allowed at a time. I'm still going to do them, like I say, and I'm going to do some any child squares as well this year. I am currently at 37 squares, I think it is. So it would be nice if I could reach 50 for the year. One of them is the giraffes that I started, so I can get that finished. That'll be another thing off my PhD list. So yeah, that was my general thought. So I didn't do my new start, did I? So I'll do my new start now. So one of the things I received for Christmas was this. Sorry about that, kick the table. This. I have coveted this kit for 20 odd years. When it first of all came out, it was like £100. There was no way at that time I could afford it. Just couldn't do it. It was never going to happen. And I've looked and I've looked over the years, and the price has come down, and then I found it on Amazon for £30 odd. So I sent my daughters a link and said, you know, if you're still struggling, here's something for me that you can get between you for Christmas. Well, apparently the following day it went back up in price. So they were keeping an eye out for it, and as soon as it went back down in price, it was ordered. So I received this on Christmas Day, and I was absolutely delighted. I'd been hoping that they'd bought it for me because I wanted to get it started on New Year's Day. Pardon me. I've always loved St. Basil's, and I'd love to see it in person, but I know that that's never going to happen now with everything that's going on with the Ukraine and Russia. And it's a shame because, you know, it's a beautiful building. And another one I'd like to see is, you know, the church. When you see in the news reports of the Ukraine that there was usually the church in the background with the big golden dome. I'd love to see that as a kit, to stitch that. I'm not a religious person, but I just absolutely adore the building. I don't know what it is about it. So anyway, I started that yesterday. Oh, excuse me. I've just managed to unmute the TV. Oops. So I started it yesterday and dropped my board on the floor as I'm trying to sort the TV out. And there we go, that's as far as I got. That's 602 stitches. So my centre start was right here. You can't see it, but there is a bit of white in there because it was the next colour I chose to work on, and that was not a good idea. I need stuff around it on this. This is 36 count linen. The other option that's available for it if you're buying it as a kit is 18 count Ada, and I think they also do it with a black background. But I have got one dome complete, so I've loved it. I've really enjoyed it. It's one thread over two. We're going to say it's 32. It's not 32, it's 36. Honestly, woman, I've only just said that. This needle minder is a caterpillar cross stitch one, and it was one of my advent gifts off Jeanette. I do have a few more advent gifts, the ones that I could get my hands on without sort of going a little bit up. You know what it's like, you put something down you can't, and then you can't find it. Right, so 2023, what I did. So let's see, I've had a count up. In total, sorry, my notes are down here, that's why I'm looking down. I did 128,146 stitches in the year, which works out as an average of 10,678 or 679, because it was a point whatever, so a month. So some months 78, some months will go 79. My best month was October with 14,106 stitches, and my worst month was February. But given that I was spending 12 hours a day, nearly every day, clearing my mum's house out, and it's a shorter month, and I had her funeral, my head wasn't with it, and I was just far too tired to stitch when I got home after, literally say 12 hours a day, trying to empty a 3-bedroomed house that was packed. And I mean packed. You'd open a cupboard and there'd be a shelf of boxes. You'd take a box down and that box was full of bags and boxes, and they were all full of stuff. So it's all had to be gone through. And yes, I had help from other family members, but it was me that had to do it. It was me that had to make the decisions. So my head just wasn't in it. So I only managed 3,895 stitches in February, but as I say, it was an awful month. So there we go. So I started the year with 31 PhDs. I started 31 PhDs, which wasn't planned, it just happened that way. I didn't realise I'd done that till I'd finished, until I counted everything up yesterday. I finished 21, so I ended the year with 41 projects. Now at one point I had 47, so 41 isn't that much of a deal, but I'd like to get it down a bit, and I want to get some of those things that have been going on. I mean, I've got Egyptian sample, I don't know when I started that, but I've got the next project on the list is Nova, and I started that in 2004. So Egyptian samplers could be 21, 22 years old, I don't know, and it's about time I got some of them done. So that's a plan for this next year. I'm going to need a drink, sorry. So of those new starts, 3 were models, 9 were Love Quilt Squares, 6 I started with Jeanette for our weekend stitch-alongs, and 4 of them will definitely be finished this year. Admittedly, they're small ones. One of them's the wolf, the other one's the commission piece, but they will all be finished this year. And out of those that I finished, 2 of them were models, 8 of them were Love Quilt Squares, and 5 of them were stitch-alongs with Jeanette. So all in all, not too bad for the year. I'm quite happy with what I did. I'm very surprised I did as many stitches as I did, but it's actually less than I did in 2022 because I worked that one out as well. So in 2022 I did 136,104, which is an average of 11,324 a month. So I would imagine, guessing, because obviously you have no idea what this year's going to bring, this year I may be more like my 2022 figures rather than my 2023 figures. As I say, I had such an awful month in February. It was just, oh. I'm in a better place than I was. Still not great. And the 22nd of this month marks 1 year. But luckily for me, it's a Monday. So it's my Monday off. I go to a beading group once a month. So it's my Monday off from having the boys. So I will be at the beading group on that day. So I'm going to be quite occupied. So, but you don't want to hear that. It's the new year. You want, yay, cheery, happy, brightness. Well, you got what you got. Right. So, let me show you this first. Now, I knew this was in the works. This is Smorg. He is 28 inches from nose to tail. And I knew about him. I knew he was in the works. He, my mum bought Lucy the pattern for this, my oldest daughter. And I donated sock yarn for him and asked for one. My mum was going to have one. She donated sock yarn for it. There we go. So there's all sorts of yarn, sock yarns in here. And this one is entirely done in, it's tiger yarn, but the name of the company escapes me. It's one of the ones that does all the automatic self-striping yarns. Isn't he fabulous? I was just blown away to open him. He's just absolutely gorgeous. She picked red because she knows I like red as the connecting colour. It was either red or purple, and she went with red. And he's gorgeous. And he's been sat up behind me since I got him. So let's put him back, shall we? I've yet to decide where he's going to live, but he might stay there. So we might be a regular feature. She did send me the link to the pattern. I think the lady's name was Heidi Bear, but I will put that down below for you. So, on to stash enhancement. Most of this, bar this item that I'm going to show you now, is all stuff that I received for Christmas or Advent off Jeanette. So back in, I think it was late November, Silks for You ran their monthly competition to win a hank of silk, and I entered. I didn't win, but I fell in love with it. So I bought one. How gorgeous is that? So this is called Fairy Lights. When I come to cut it, I'm going to cut it in the pink because I don't do pink. There we go. This is equivalent to, I think it's about 28 skeins of DMC. I don't know what I'm going to use it for as yet. I did think maybe pandemic, but I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah. So that came all the way from Australia. And no, if anybody's wondering, I wasn't charged anything by customs. There was no customs charges. I had an email to say it had landed in the country, and the following day it arrived through the post box. So that was good. Can't fault the service of that at all. So on to stuff I received for Christmas. Now my youngest daughter has started doing these on Etsy. This one was tailor-made for me, and she did say, when you do it, when you mention it on your Flosstube, just tell them that it doesn't normally come with a green border. It's just that she hadn't set it up quite right, and it was a white border, so she just got a green highlighter and coloured it in. So I will put a link down below in case anybody is interested, but this one has been personalised for me. So we start off with who it belongs to, and obviously there's a sunflower. Then we have a page for projects that have started, you know, and there's a page for the year's goals, and she put sunflower in the corner. Then there's quite a few pages for monthly goals. And then we have project pages. When she was setting this up, there was a lot of discussion. So, and I'm telling her things like, well, some people will go by page count. If they're doing a big full coverage, they're going to want to know how many pages. You know, there might be 30 pages. You got your project name, the date it started, the date it finished, how many days you actually worked on it, because some people I know count the days they work on it, and total number of hours, because some people go by hours. I used to count my hours. And then a stitch count. And if you look, all these little pictures, or these ones anyway, look like they've been cross-stitched. And then there's quite a lot of pages for those, because some people start loads, some people don't. And then at the back, we have notes pages, and mine have a sunflower on them. And then I've got some sunflowers on the back. So she did it with a purple cover, because purple's favourite colour, along with red. And as I say, the green border was just something she added. So I will link this down below in case you want to go and have a look for one of those. So that was off my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter got me a pack of Sulky Blendables. I actually have a big reel of this. I bought this one at Harrogate. I did show it at the time, but I was thinking I might do Pandemic in it. But they had about 4 reels of it, but only one of them was this darker one. The other ones had a light section in them, and I didn't like that. So I might order more, but aren't they just fabulous colours? Absolutely gorgeous. So that was another gift. And then I did an Advent exchange with Jeanette. We decided that we would set up our own one, because we looked at all these different ones online and kind of decided that we weren't gonna do it. So one of the ones I got off Jeanette was this. Get me board. Where have I put my board? Board. Here, board. Come on. Here, board. Board. Come on. Where are you hiding? Okay, if you know what I've done. Right in front of my face. Honestly, if I had a brain, it'd be dangerous. So I got a piece of 36 count Winter Moon, which is a lovely creamy colour. No clue what I'm going to do on it yet, but I will find something. And another gift off Jeanette. She called in a favour for this, apparently. This is a piece of 40 count Pemberley by Needle and Flax. That lovely mottled yellow. That's blowing it out a bit. It's far more subtle than it looks. Again, no idea what I'm going to stitch on this, but I will be finding something for it, I tell you. Beautiful piece of fabric. So she called in a favour for that one. Another gift off Jeanette was Blackbird Designs Crowns and Shields. She actually bought a copy for herself and took it with her one day to bingo. We go bingo on a Wednesday night. And when she got it, I'm like, oh, bring it with you so I can have a look at it. So I had a look and I thought it was lovely. So she was telling me she ordered her copy from Peakside. And the following day, because it happened to arrive on a Wednesday, so she rang them up on, well, she didn't ring them up, they rang her after she ordered a second copy of it. Because then they were like, you've just had one, you sure you want another copy? And she's like, yeah. And then she explained that it was for me because I'd seen it. So I've got that little sampler in there. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. And if I ever get round, well, not if, when I eventually get round to stitching it, there we go, that's what I was looking for. I will do it in the red. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not normally a big Blackbird fan. I've got a few of them, but I'm a bit selective. I'm not a, oh, it's Blackbird must have. Oh, Blackbird must have. No, it's not me. But I did like this one. So that was something for the future. And then, lastly, my actual Christmas gift off Jeanette was that. This was released, this was in the autumn release from Bothy. And I just fell in love with it. It's got sunflower on it, it's got bees on it. And I thought, that is so nice and cheerful. But by this point, Jeanette and I had agreed that we weren't going to buy anything stash wise other than, you know, things like thread and fabric. We weren't going to buy charts or kits or anything like that so that we didn't happen to double up. So I didn't buy this. I thought, oh, I'll buy it next year, you know, plenty of time, it's not going to go anywhere, it's a new release, it's going to be around for a few years. And I got it for Christmas. Isn't it gorgeous? Just look at that. So that hopefully will be on the cards to start at some point this year. And that's that. Not massive amounts as ever. Hopefully I will have more for you in my next video. I think if I've got enough, it will be the 11th. Might be the 11th. Because the Sunday, my partner's off on his long weekend, so I won't be recording. So if it's not the 11th, it will be the 20th. I think it's the 20th, the Sunday. Yeah, the 20th. And by then I will have more to show you. I should, in theory, have started and finished the Triceratops. In which case I can do what I've done, take a picture of it on my iPad and show it to you. I am recording on an iPad. I have my mum's, which I have access to. I've had access to it for since before she died for various reasons. But as yet, I haven't cleared it and made it mine. I will at some point, but I'm not ready to yet. So, other than that, I can't think of anything else. I will put a link down below for the book off my daughter. Oh, and I forgot to link the bookmark pattern in my Christmas one. I mean, on my Flosstube extra with my Christmas gifts, I forgot to link the pattern, so I will put that in the box down below with a note to say it should have been in the extras one. But other than that, take care of yourselves, enjoy your stitching, and I will see you soon. Bye.